Surya Namaskars for all-round health. This is an excerpt from the book 10-Point Way to Health by Srimant Balasahib, Panta Pratinidhi, Raja of Aundh. It describes the Surya Namaskar or Sun Salutation, a yoga exercise technique with roots in ancient India. This introduction to the exercise should certainly inspire people to embark on a mission to superior all-round health by way of the Surya Namaskars, irrespective of gender, religion or country. Is there a universal kind of exercise right for all ages, for children and women, as well as for men, costing nothing and capable of being performed in a short time without accessories at any moment anywhere? There is, and it is called Surya Namaskars. Our Indian readers would know at once what we mean, but to Western readers, we must explain. Surya Namaskars are literally translated sun obeisances or sun prayers. They go back thousands of years. Then, as now, man looked to the sun for light, warmth, health, hygiene, and food. The sun purified things that had festered or molded or accumulated disease germs in the dark. The sun caused the growth and ripening of grain, fruit, and other foods by which man sustained life. To early man, the sun was the life giver. And the thinkers and sages of India thousands of years ago showed their gratitude by making obeisances or doing these exercises. To early man, the sun was the life giver, and the thinkers and sages of India thousands of years ago showed their gratitude by making obeisances or doing exercises at the rising and the setting of the sun. They bowed to the sun as you would today to one who has bestowed so many priceless gifts on humanity. Sun worship is anathema to many Westerners because they do not rightly understand it. But the great German philosopher and scientist Ernst Haeckel knew the reality which lies behind the sun symbol. He wrote, "The sun is the deity of light and warmth on whose influence all organic life insensibly and directly depends." Sun worship, that is, solarism or heliotheism, seems to the modern scientist to be the best of all forms of theism and the one which may be most easily reconciled with modern monism, that is, philosophy that denies the existence of a distinction in a particular sphere such as that between God and the world. For modern astrophysics and geogeny have taught us that the earth is a fragment detached from the sun and that it will eventually return to the bosom of its parent. Indeed, the whole of our bodily and mental life depends, in the last resort, as all other organic life, on the life and heat of the sun. As a matter of fact, sun worshippers attained thousands of years ago a higher intellectual and moral standard than most of the other theists. When I was in Bombay in 1881, I watched with great sympathy the elevating rites of the pious Parsis who, standing on the seashore or kneeling on their prayer rugs, offered their devotion to the sun and its rise and setting. Let us emphasize here, for those who would be inclined to object to Surya Namaskars on the ground that they are a religious rite, that they have the appearance only of a religious rite. Bathing and deep breathing are regarded by the Hindus as religious duties. But this does not result in their being shunned by others. We must make a clear distinction between things technically religious and things which, being good in themselves, are for that reason included by some people in their daily religious duties, and which are therefore only apparently religious. Rules of health have nothing to do with dogma or with blind religious faith. We should also like to address a special word to those who hesitate to launch out on any course of exercises at all. It is a cause of constant wonder to discover the enormous number of people of all nations who creep through life with a growing mountain of aches and pains on their shoulders, never making the slightest physical exertion in case they might hurt themselves or even die of heart failure. God made us all alike in fundamentals, with the same simple human needs underneath all our infinite diversities of personality. And one of these simple human needs is exercise. The daily airing and use of all the cells in our bodies, which, for want of this, atrophy and die. Dead cells in a living organism are, as we do not need to emphasize, no help to that organism. Let us assume these alarmists who have forgotten what it is like to feel the joy and radiance of youthful movement that, if they began slowly and proceeded gradually but persistently, they would, within a month or 6 weeks, be astonished to realize that they can, at the age of 45 or 60 or 70 or even 80, feel once more the surge of the clear, rapid blood of youth in their veins. But these fear-ridden people will say, look at those professional athletes and strong men and women who all die of all sorts of diseases and moreover die young. We reply that none of these evils is due to any system of exercise. Take for example the simple case of the Indian Pahilwan or wrestler. Most Pahilwans are obsessed with the notion that he who can do 500 dandas or zors, that is push-ups, is necessarily stronger and healthier than who can do only 400. Though the latter might be much stronger and healthier of the two. Dominated by this wrong idea, the Pahilwan always seeks to develop his muscular system at the expense of his vital capacity. And as a necessary and natural consequence, he suffers either from heart affections or from muscle binding. Another example of the Pahilwan's logic is that the more food he can eat, the stronger and healthier he will be. While youth and vigor continue, his faulty logic may appear quite convincing. But when age comes on and forces upon him the wisdom of reducing his exercise, he still goes on stuffing himself, with the necessary and natural consequence of indigestion. Instances of harmful effects from exercise are mostly due to overexertion, overeating, wrong eating, or to other devitalizing excesses. It is this passion for exercise that is responsible for the ills from which the Pahilwan and many an ordinary person as well suffers in later life. Excess, not athletics, kills the athlete. Surya Namaskars may have many advantages over the usual type of exercise. All games, whether Eastern or Western, require one or two companions. Even the great Indian game of wrestling needs an opponent, while most other games need either many players or various accessories. Exercise with Indian clubs or dumbbells is not possible without clubs or dumbbells. For riding, you need a horse or a bicycle. You cannot swim without water. Walking, though requiring no apparatus nor a companion, takes a lot of time. A walk of 8 or 10 miles cannot ordinarily be done in less than 2 hours or 2.5 at the rate of 15 to 20 minutes a mile. And almost all outdoor exercises depend on favorable weather. A team game requires a spacious ground, which may not always be available. In large towns, there are not always sufficient playgrounds to accommodate all school, college, and university students. Take Pune as an example of an Indian city. It has over 10,000 pupils attending municipal schools alone. It has over 10,000 pupils attending municipal schools alone, with but 4 playgrounds for them all, each ground affording space for only 2 or 300 children at the most. The ideal exercise should develop not only the limbs, muscles, and internal organs of the body, but should also promote mental and spiritual development. To make such an exercise universally popular and acceptable, there should be no necessity for apparatus or appliances. It should be easy to do. It should take a short time to perform. It should be of such a nature as to enable it to be carried out anywhere and by anybody, and should not necessitate a partner or companion. Surya Namaskars fulfill all these requirements. Moreover, they make for all-round development with special tonic effect on the 3 principal working parts of the body, on the proper function of which all health depends. We have found by actual experience that Surya Namaskars, if regularly and methodically performed, render these 3 organs capable of resisting disease or disease germs. 1. The digestive organs, including stomach, liver, intestines, etc. An appalling number of people suffer from stomachic and intestinal disorders such as dyspepsia and constipation. These result in liver trouble, dropsy, piles, diabetes, and a host of other diseases. 2. Heart and lungs. Colds, coughs, asthma, tuberculosis, palpitations, and other complaints are symptoms of heart and lung derangement. 3. The nervous system, including the brain and spinal cord. Brain affection is indicated by headache, brain fag, loss of memory, insanity. Ailments of the spinal cord are paralysis, myelitis, sclerosis, fatigue after slight exertion, depression, cold hands and feet, disturbed sleep. Surya Namaskars have a particularly notable effect on the nervous system, where resides chiefly the spring of human power. It is from here that energy is transmitted to the tissues and organs of the body. A personality is made strong, compelling, and active not so much by muscle as by the vital energy behind the muscle. Surya Namaskars directly stimulate the nerve centers, acting on them in a dramatic and almost visible way, as we shall try to prove in a later chapter. Children from 8 to 12 with normal health should do from 25 to 50 Surya Namaskars daily. Boys and girls from 12 to 16 should do generally from 50 to 100. We have observed that in some schools and colleges, physical training such as gymnastics, drill, etc. is given to students twice or 3 times per week. Such spasmodic efforts will never produce the desired benefits which we all want every boy and girl to possess. Persons above 16 should gradually increase the number of Surya Namaskars up to 300 daily according to their capacity. After 65 or 70, however, one should do till death as many as one's bodily condition will allow. To do about 1000 Namaskars a day for a few months and then to come down to about 25 or to give them up altogether is positively harmful. In the same way as it would be foolish and dangerous to eat 2 or 3 times the usual quantity of food and then to give up eating altogether. The rules that govern diet and pastime, that is leisure, apply to exercise as well. An exercise to be beneficial should be taken daily, regularly, continuously, and proportionately to one's strength. To gain the desired end, therefore, Surya Namaskars must be done systematically. They are not a rope dancer's antics. They must be performed as to develop and strengthen every part of the body alike. The reward which awaits those who perform Surya Namaskars according to our instructions will be the constant joy in life which God intended for all His creatures. To be free from worry or tiredness and to keep healthy and fit for years together without an ailment, without even a slight cold, is a supreme happiness. Once it is known, it is never relinquished at any price. We must in this preliminary chapter draw attention also to the vital importance of speech in connection with Surya Namaskars. The body is not completely functioning if the vocal cords are left silent. Moreover, the vocal cords, when vibrating, extend their influence beyond themselves to every corner of the body. In India, the Vedic hymns and names of the sun are recited by the Hindus when performing the Surya Namaskars. To non-Hindus who on religious grounds might object to reciting the hymns, or who might consider that to repeat the names of the sun such as Mitraya Namaha, Ravaye Namaha would smack of idolatry, we recommend the use of the meaningless monosyllables Om, Ram, Reem, Room, Raim, Raum, Ra, known as mantras. These sounds possess an inherent health-giving virtue and are too valuable in their physical effects on the body to omit, whatever the religious faith